India Today has meanwhile spoken to the Information and Broadcasting Minister Hassanul Haq. While he rejects reports of ISI's involvement, he points a direct finger at the JMB, which he says enjoys the support of the Jamaat-e-islami and Pakistan's ISI. He also attacks opposition leader Khaleda Zia and her party, Bangladesh National Party, for having links with the Jamaat. Now let's listen in to this exclusive interview.
I'm joined here this morning by Mr. Hassanul Haq, a senior face. He's the information minister in the government. So our deepest condolence, of course, to what happened in Bangladesh.
Thank you.
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina herself today plans, in fact, to pay respect. Take us through what are we expecting?
Oh, well, it is a very sad thing for the country and for the region. Not only Bangladeshi citizens were killed, but also foreign nationals, and one of them is the Indian girl, Tarushi. We sympathize and condole the deaths of the foreign nationals, especially the death of Tarushi, a young bright student who was brutally killed by the terrorists. As you know, that the government has already taken very strong steps and recovered the survivors from the restaurant. But our pledge to the nation, as the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina addressed the nation and told that we are not going to compromise with terrorists and religious militancy.
So from reports that have emerged, it looks like the hostages, were segregated, foreign nationals were killed, or Bangladeshi nationals who did not conform to the idea of Islam, conservative Islam, they were killed, and the other hostages were actually let go. It wasn't like the army could go in and rescue them. How do you look at this entire terror orchestration?
Well, it was an attack to kill the hostages because the moment they attacked the restaurant, they started killing. So the target was, as it seems, that the target was foreign nationals, but actually they don't have any principles. They were trying to create a news and a hype in the country that terrorism exists, that's all.
So, but then who is financing them? Does this look like, the way the attack was carried out, does this look like an Islamic State activity? Does this look like it was funded by somebody like the ISI? Because the pattern almost seemed very similar to 26/11.
Well, these terrorist activities is going on for the last 10-15 years. So it is not a new phenomenon in Bangladesh, but these are sporadic attacks. It is not an attack which can shake the government and unsettle the government and the constitutional process. So they are being financed by certain quarters. But at the moment, those who have been killed and those who are under custody doesn't have any information of a link and connection with the IS, Taliban or Al-Qaeda. But in the past, recent, Pakistani government and the Pakistani diplomats and linked with the ISI were involved in Bangladeshi politics, especially linked with armed activists and about the terrorist networks.
And it was the 1st of July when terror struck that Holy Artisan Cafe in Dhaka on Friday night. Let's take a look at the events that unfolded soon after terror struck that cafe.
It was a Black Friday for Dhaka. A bakery that was a popular hangout for tourists became a hub of terror. At 7:30 p.m. on Friday, unidentified gunmen stormed into the Holy Artisan Bakery, firing at the customers, lobbing grenades and crude bombs. Screaming Allahu Akbar, they held about 20 foreigners, including diplomats, hostage inside the bakery.
ওরা ম্যাক্সিমাম 8 জন ওরা একজন এক রকমের তবে ওরা খুব কমফোর্ট ভাবে আসছে মানে যে আছে না যে একটু ফ্লেক্সিবল ভাবে প্যান্ট শার্ট ইন করা এবং ওরা যতক্ষণ ছিল আল্লাহু আকবার বলতেছে
Soon enough, a gun battle ensued between the gunmen and policemen gathered outside. Sounds of explosions ringing across the Gulshan area neighborhood.
ঢুকতে পারি নাই
আচ্ছা
গেটের সামনে যাওয়ার পর ওই ফায়ারিং
আচ্ছা
ওরা যে ফায়ারগুলো করছে ওর মধ্যে অলরেডি আমি আর আমাদের সাথের লোক 5 জনের মধ্যে 2 জন আহত হয়ে গেছে।
আচ্ছা।
কারণ 2 জন সিরিয়াসভাবে ব্লিডিং হচ্ছে।
After 13 hours, the forces stormed into the bakery, rescuing some of the hostages. But already 20 foreigners had been killed by the terrorists, including Indian teen Tarishi Jain. Days after the dastardly terror strike, Bangladesh's Home Minister confirmed that the attackers were not from the Islamic State group, but belonged to a local terrorist group which has been banned for over a decade.
This homegrown terrorist wants to contact with IS. This is the main thing. But all are our homegrown, our national. It is not from other countries. It is all our national, our people.
A bustling Friday evening at this popular Dhaka bakery, in a matter of minutes, turned into a bloodbath. So many lives lost, so many lives scarred by another dastardly act of terror. Bureau Report, India Today.
19-year-old Tarishi Jain, an Indian student, was also killed in Dhaka carnage that played out in a popular cafe. Now here's a look at who was that young girl and the horror that she experienced inside the Holy Artisan Cafe.
A 19-year-old student of UC Berkeley with her whole life ahead of her. Tarishi Jain was just like any other teenager with ambitions to touch the sky. But little did she or her father know that a fun holiday to Bangladesh would end in tragedy. Inconsolable family members of Tarishi, who was killed in the deadly Dhaka carnage.
We did try speaking, in fact, to the parents, but they completely refused. It was stonewalled in a way by all the relatives who have been pouring in to meet the family to express their deepest condolence. They say that the parents are in a state of trauma and shock.
हमने घबराकर अपनी बहन को फ़ोन किया तो उसकी मम्मी वहाँ बाहर ही बैठी हुई थी और बोलती है कि जी मैं तो बहुत परेशान हूँ, कैसे भी तारिशी को बचा लो, वो तो अंदर फंस गई, किसी तरह से भी बाहर नहीं आ रही।
तारिशी तो कोई बात नहीं हो पा रही थी क्योंकि वो तो होस्टेस थी वहाँ पर, लेकिन उसके फादर से मेरे बड़े भैया हैं जो, उनसे लगातार बात हो रही थी, रो रहे थे, बिलख रहे थे।
According to reports, Tarishi made a call to her parents when they'd locked themselves up in the restroom in a bid to escape from the terrorists. In what's now reportedly the last conversation that Tarishi had, she told her parents, and I quote, "I'm hiding in a toilet with my friends. I think we'll be killed one by one." 2 friends accompanying the 19-year-old also died a tragic death, reportedly while trying to selflessly protect Tarishi. Tarishi's mortal remains will now be flown back to her hometown in Firozabad in Uttar Pradesh, where the young Indian teenager will be laid to rest. Tarishi's last Facebook post shows that she wanted to fight poverty around the world, do good for the world. However, this young, promising life has now been snuffed out due to mindless terror executed by violent fanatics. With Smita Sharma in Dhaka, Bureau Report, India Today.